What's going on, world? I'm DJ Swavor, and this is another episode of Ottoman Box Openings. On this episode, we're going to be taking a look at a collab between New Balance and Concepts. In the past, New Balance and Concepts have had some pretty dope collabs. From the Kennedy 999 to the Rose 997 to the Grand Tour 998, Concepts is known to put out some pretty dope sneakers when it links up with New Balance. I'm hoping that this sneaker falls in line with the other dope New Balance Concept collab sneakers. The sneaker that I'm talking about is the Made in England Lake Havasu 991.5. Before we take a look at this sneaker, be sure you're following me on all the major social media platforms. Now, my username handle is the same across all the social media platforms, so it shouldn't be hard to find me and give me a follow. Especially give me a follow on my Instagram page. Go to my Instagram page, check out my IG stories, like my last 3 pictures, show me that you rocking with this Ottoman box opening series. Now, even though this sneaker ultimately sold out on the Concepts website, I know a lot of people were fussing about the price point of this sneaker. This sneaker retailed for $250. Yeah, bruh. $250. Now, a person like me that's into runners, I'm kind of used to New Balance having a high price point on their sneakers. Normally, a dope New Balance costs about $220 to $230, so I wasn't really taken aback when I found that this sneaker was going to retail for $250. But I know a lot of people were like, hell nah, bruh. In my mind, paying $250 for a dope New Balance collab isn't a problem, but to most people, $250 for a New Balance sneaker is out of the question. But on the flip side, I know a lot of people that would drop $250 for a dope Jordan or a dope Nike with no questions asked. So that pretty much leads me to this conclusion. Being willing to drop a lot of money on a sneaker really depends on the sneaker brand that you rock with. $200 plus is $200 plus, whether you're spending it on a Nike, a Pro Kid, a Van, a Reebok, a Jordan, or whatever. It really all depends on what your personal preference is for what kind of sneaker you want to spend a lot of money on. You can't knock the next man for spending a lot of money on a sneaker just because you wouldn't do it. Is $250 a lot of money? Yeah, it is. But knowing that you're spending a lot of money on a sneaker that you really want kind of lessens the blow of that hit to your wallet. I said all that to say this. Every single one of us sneakerheads has spent dumb money on a sneaker before. Don't knock the next man for spending a lot of money on a sneaker they want just because you wouldn't do the same. But enough about how I drop a lot of money on a lot of sneakers. Let's go ahead and take a look at this dope collab. Now, before we take a look at this sneaker, as usual with any New Balance and Concepts collab, there's always an interesting backstory that makes that sneaker unique. As I told you before, the moniker for this sneaker is Lake Havasu. Back in the day, some businessman went over to London and decided to buy the London Bridge, and he brought it over to Lake Havasu in Arizona, hence the name Lake Havasu. The irony between the relationship between London, where the London Bridge was, and Lake Havasu, which is in America, is that the 991.5 model sneaker is only made in England. Concepts happens to be over here in America. You see where I'm going with this? So the relationship between the backstory of England and America and the fact that this sneaker was made in England and brought over to America is pretty dope in my opinion. As y'all know, I'm not really a fan of backstories when it comes to sneakers. I mean, hell, a sneaker could have a backstory of piss and urinals and I would still get it if it looked dope. But the fact that Concepts was kind of able to bring the correlation between England and America into a sneaker is kind of dope in my opinion. I know some of y'all would kill me for not telling the backstory of this sneaker, so there you have it. But now that we got the backstory out the way, let's go ahead and take a look at this dope sneaker. And this is the Lake Havasu 991.5 collab between New Balance and Concepts. Off the first look at this sneaker, I'm super hyped about the color palette they used on the uppers of the shoe. I love the fact that they used the different shades of turquoise or jade or teal on this sneaker. As you know, this is the 991.5 model. The 991.5 model is pretty much a hybrid of 2 models. The upper of this sneaker is that of the New Balance 991 model, and the midsole of this sneaker is that of the New Balance 1500 model. I'm a super fan of hybrid models when it comes to sneakers. You bring in the aspects of 2 different models, mash them together, and come up with a fly sneaker. For $250, it was pretty much a guarantee that you were going to get top-notch materials on this sneaker. The upper of this sneaker is made of pretty good quality suede and nubuck materials. When you can see a brush like that, it's normally a pretty good sign that you got some good materials on the sneaker. Another aspect of this sneaker that I'm loving is that perforated material on the toe box. Something about perforated toe boxes looks so dope to me. I don't know why, I just do not like mesh toe boxes, but putting perforated perforation on the toe box will get my attention ASAP. I'm also loving the fact that they didn't just leave the perforated material on the toe box of the sneaker. The perforation of the sneaker also is on the side panel of the sneaker as well as the ankle wrapping portion of the shoe. Another aspect to the sneaker that I love is the 3M hits all over the sneaker. There's 3M on the New Balance N symbol on the side. You also have a 3M hit on the New Balance 991.5 branding on the tongue, as well as 3M hits on the New Balance branding on the rear portion of the sneaker. I can't wait to get this sneaker in front of a camera and see that pop when that flash hits that 3M material. The inside of the sneaker pretty much mirrors the outside of the sneaker, so I'm not going to go into super detail about it. You have the same turquoise suede and nubuck material on the upper. The N New Balance symbol on the inside also has 3M hits like the N on the outside of the sneaker. Even though the Concepts branding isn't all over the sneaker, it is on this lace lock, which is guaranteed to catch someone's eye when they look at the sneaker. I'm also glad they decided to use the gum sole on the bottom to complement the white midsole as well as the turquoise upper. In my opinion, a gum bottom sole can either make or break a sneaker, but in this sneaker's case, that gum bottom sole was the perfect choice to go with. The last aspect of the sneaker that I completely love is that Made in England stitched into the back of the tongue. This is my very first Made in England New Balance, so I'm hyped just for the fact that I have a sneaker that's made in England and not a New Balance that's made in the USA like most of them are. The left sneaker looks completely like the right sneaker, so there's really no point in me getting that left sneaker out and basically telling you the same thing over again. And that pretty much explains this Lake Havasu New Balance Concepts collab. Is it one of my favorite New Balance Concepts collabs? No, not at all, but it's for sure not at the bottom of that list either. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm giving this an easy 7.5. From that suede upper to that gum bottom to pulling the aspects of the 991 and the 1500 together, what is there not to like about this shoe? The only thing I can really complain about this sneaker is that the price tag was so high. $250 for a New Balance is kind of expensive, but I had a feeling as soon as I got it in my hand, I wasn't going to be tripping about that $250. And I was right, because that $250 was definitely worth it to get a dope sneaker. But of course, I want to know y'all's opinion about this sneaker. Let me know down in the comment section what you think about this particular shoe. Are you liking the sneaker? Are you not liking it? Did you get your hands on a pair? Are you looking to cop a pair on the resale market and you needed this video to kind of push you over the edge? Let me know down in the comment section what you think about this sneaker. The sneaker only released exclusively through Concepts, so if you didn't get your hands on the online release on release day, you're pretty much out of luck. But just a heads up, Concepts is known to restock a lot of their collabs in the near future after that release day. So if you don't feel like paying resale for this sneaker, keep your eyes open on that Concepts website and you might get lucky. But if you need this sneaker now and you want to buy this sneaker on the resale market, you're gonna have to pay a pretty hefty price. The sneaker retail for $250 and I'm seeing the resale around $300 to $350 for my size 13. But I pay $300 to $350 for this New Balance. Shit, I would barely pay $300 to $350 for any New Balance. But if you got that kind of money laying around, go ahead and pay that resale price and you're for sure gonna get a dope sneaker in your hand. Something about that relationship between Concepts and New Balance brings out the best in both of them. I just can't wait to see what kind of dopeness New Balance and Concepts will cook up in the rest of 2018. And this is the Lake Havasu 991.5 collab between New Balance and Concepts. Another dope New Balance and Concepts collab to add to the collection. Now, even though it's not in my top 5 New Balance Concept collabs to date, it's still one of the dopest ones that I've seen in a long time. Even though the price point was a little high, as you can see, that $250 was worth it. If you haven't already, smash that thumbs up, smash that like button for me, and if you haven't already, definitely subscribe. And when you subscribe, be sure to hit the notification bell button next to the subscribe button so when I post something on YouTube, you get it first. Once again, I'm DJ Swavor. This was another episode of Ottoman Box Openings, and until next time, peace.